Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण नाम धोरे को तो कृष्ण नाम विषय वासनानले मोरचित सदा जले रवितप्त मरु भूमि समान विषय मोरचित सदा जले रवितप्त मारु कर्णरन्ध्रपथ दिया रिधिमा ये प्रवेशिया वर्षो यस्तुधा अनुपाम হৃদয় হইতে বলে জীবার অগ্রে তো চলে শব্দ রূপে নাচে অনুসরণ কণ্ঠমো ভঙ্গেশ্বর अंग का ठर ठर स्थिर होते ना पारिचर चक्षुधारा दे कर्म पुलकित सब चर्म विवर न होइले कौलेवर मूर्छित होइले मन प्रलयर आगमन भावेश वदे चर चर इत्येव सुधा मोरदार प्रेमे रसाधरे কিছু না বুঝিতে দিল মোর তো বাতুলা হইল মোর চিত্তবিত্ত সব হরে লইনুয়া শ্রয় যার হেন ব্যবহার তার वर्णित ना पारी ते शका कृष्ण नाम इच्छा मोय जाय सुखी होय সেই মোর সুখে রসম্বল प्रेमेरा कलिका नाम अद्भुत रसेर धाम एनो बलकार प्रकाश ईशत विकसी पुनः देखाय निज रूप गुण चित्त रिलोय कृष्ण पा पूर्णवी प्रसित होइया प्रजेमो प्रजाय लोइया दिखाय मोर स्वरूप विलास देखय दिया कृष्ण पूर्णवी कसित होइया ब्रजेमो जाय लोइया देखाय मोरे स्वरूप मिला। मोर सिद्ध देह प्रिया कृष्ण पासे रखे किया ए देहे रपोरे सर्वदा। कृष्ण नाम चिंता मणि अखिल रसेर काणी नित्य मुक्त सुधा रसमो। नामेरा बलाई जात सबलो ए हो हट तबे मो रस्तुखे राहुदय। कृष्ण नाम धोरे तो कृष्ण नाम धोरे को तो हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। जय राधा विनोद राधा विनोद श्री राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस इसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की ब्रह्म मध्व गौड़ीय संप्रदाय आचार्य गुरुवर की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की all glories to the seven devotees, all glories to the seven devotees, all glories to the seven devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guroho and Gauranga. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिण निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिण पंचाकल्पतरोश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you from my heart for the third session on the importance of the songs of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manoyavistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadana. Vandhyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan आराध्य भगवान ब्रजेश तनयस तत्ताम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गे न तया कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवत पुराण अमलम प्रेम पवर्थो महान श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतैदम नायत्राग्रह नवनीरदनिन्दित कान्तिधरम रससागर नागर भूपवरम शुभवंकिमचारु श्रीखंड शिखिम भज कृष्णानिधिम व्रजराजसुतम भज कृष्णानिधिम व्रजराजसुतम राधिका सरोदेन्दु निंदिमुख मंडली वंद्ये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानु नंदिनी वंद्ये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानु नंदिनी वंद्ये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानु नंदिनी कदाचित् कालिंदितट विपिन संगीतरव मुदाभिरी नारी कमल स्वाद मधुपा रमा शंभु ब्रह्मा गणेशार्चित पादो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भव तुम्हें आजानुलंबितो भुजो कनकायवधातो संकीर्तने पितरवो कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो युगधर्म पालो वंदे जगत प्रिय करो करुणा अवतारो पतित पावन निताय गौर सुंदर की श्री श्री राधा विनोद जीव की सुदर्शन चक्र जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी की जय ऑल देयर लॉर्डशिप्स की जय वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय हिज डिवाइन ग्रेसेस प्रभुपाद की जय। So we have tried to explain the importance of the songs of the Vaishnava Acharyas. Those who really want to advance in Krishna consciousness, we should take to learning these Vaishnava bhajans understanding their meanings, and beg for mercy that one day, or perhaps in one lifetime, we will be able to really enter into that mood. Somebody asked Srila Gaur Krishna Maharaj, how can I get Krishna Prem? So Srila Gaur Krishna Maharaj said, you can get it only for 2 annas. Maybe the younger generation doesn't know what 2 annas is. 4 anna is 25 paise. It's no more existing. 8 anna is 50 paisa. So 2 anna is a fraction of which is 1/16. 12 and a half paisa. 12 and a half paisa. In that time it used to be in annas. So you can buy, you can get Krishna Prem in 12 and a half paisa or 2 annas. So that person was perplexed. How? He said, yes. Go across the Ganga. In Navadip, there is a bookstore and buy Sri Narottam Das Thakur's 1 anna each. The Prema Bhakti Chandrika and Prarthana. The wonderful prayers in the form of songs that is Divine Grace Sri Narottam Das Thakur has composed. So the meaning of that is basically just not buy it and keep it on the shelf. It means that one should learn, absorb, digest, understand, and realize the mood of the acharyas. Yes, it's true that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is self-sufficient in giving us everything. But what is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? I'm opening this question to all the audience here. What is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? In a nutshell, one line. It's not a test. Don't think of any of your answers. If you don't feel confident, still go for it. Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardhan. It's a mere attempt. Yes. Very nice. Not only Krishna, but along with his associates. Nija Sarva Shaktis. We explained that the other day. And when Mahaprabhu, who is Nandan Krishna, when he says Nija, he says my own. And who is the most closest and dearest? Just like we introduce somebody who has come to our home, this is my wife, my son, my daughter, my father, my mother, my brother, my sister. Similarly, that my Nija Sarva Shaktis has got the word Nija has a wonderful deep meaning. So here Nandanandan Krishna, especially the closest and the dearest is the Swapaksha gopis of Srimati Radharani, including the Manjaris and Srimati Radharani, are present in the word Nija, and therefore they are present in the word Hara or Hare. Hara is the vocative when we address. Like somebody's name is Sita, if you want to call that person, then we say, Hey Site. If somebody's name is Radha, we say, Hey Radhe. So like, in the Chada Goswami Ashtakam, Srinivas Acharya, who composed it, says, He Radhe Vraja Devaki Chalalite. Hey Radhe, not Radha, addressing. Oh Radhe, where are you? Lalite, addressing Lalita Sakhi. So similarly, Hara means Nija Sarva Shaktis of Nandanandan Krishna of Vraj. Now it is interesting because we are talking about the holy names. Our consciousness is what when we chant the holy names? It is not that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra was not existing It ever existed. It is eternal. Golokera prema dhana Hari Nam Sankirtana. So Golok has always existed eternally. And the prem dhan of Krishna, prema, has always existed. But it was not really manifest until the appearance and the mood or the bhav, the real Vraj Prem bhav, when it came to Srila Madhvendra Puri. And he is the one who really opened the doors of Gaudiya Vaishnavism with the deeper and inner meanings, which was passed on to Srila Ishwar Puripad, and then came to, obviously, in the Leela of Mahaprabhu, it came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that perfect mood. And then after that, it Mahaprabhu flooded the dam with that prem and gave it to Rup Sanatan Goswamis. And further, it went to the other four Goswamis. And in perfect disciplic succession to Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Bardev Vidyabhushan, Srila Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and anyone in this parampara who has taken deep interest, that rasa will surely and certainly manifest. So, it is a matter of consciousness. We had read many books even prior coming to ISKCON. Right from our very, very young days, we were always interested in philosophy. Heard many, many lecturers, many, many speakers, right here in India, on Ramayana, etc. Read books on Buddhism, read books on even the Mayavadis like uh, Yoganand Rishi, read books on Christianity, on the Bible, had some understanding of Islam. So philosophy was always very interesting to this servant. But never ever had come across these three words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by any author, and also Krishna consciousness, or even as simple as God consciousness. Never ever until I came across His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada's books. So Krishna consciousness means it's a big, huge, unlimited perimeter that encompasses an unlimited mood or a bhav. So it depends who is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So as an example, there is a conversation between Lord Brahma and Naradji in the Kalishantaran Upanishad, which was in some Satya Yuga, about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the 16 words, Shadadosa Aksharam. So it is not that Mahamantra just came about. It's since time immemorial, eternal. So that's like Srimad Bhagavatam is eternal. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Krishna is eternal. Krishna's Srimad Bhagavatam is eternal. Krishna's pastimes are eternal. Krishna's pure devotees are eternal. Sri Radhika Madhavyor Apara. Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa. Apar. The word is apar. Apar means unlimited. So it depends on who is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and I will give some very simplified examples to really understand what is the consciousness behind any action or even speaking or even chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. For example, when the many sampradayas in Bharat, they chant the Mahamantra. And the original version, if I may say so, for lack of words, is Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And just as a side note, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed that. He is authorized to do it because he is the none other than Govindam Adi Purusham, especially in the mood of Srimati Radharani. To simplify it, because even for example, right here in South India, Sri Sampradaya devotees, they chanted the Mahamantra. And what is the consciousness when they are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? The consciousness is the word Hara means Mahalakshmi or Lakshmi Devi for them. And Krishna means Krishna. Krishna means attractive and Na means all. The personality who attracts everybody, that personality in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayana. That is what to them, to their consciousness as Krishna. The word Rama means either Lord Ramachandra for them, Vaikuntha Adipati, or it could also mean the one who actually who does Raman with Lakshmi Devi, who is always entertaining Lakshmi Devi. So that is the word meaning of the word Ram for them. And I will make it a little more simplified. How the words and their consciousness are go in sync or synchronization. Let's say in the morning there is the child who is ready to go to school, and the child is all uniformed with the school bag, simply waiting by the door, and the child says, Papa, and the father is upstairs, perhaps getting ready to go to office, wearing his tie or his suit, and immediately he says, yes beta, I'm coming, I know I'm couple minutes late, I have to take you to school. Just that word Papa, immediately the father has understood what the consciousness behind that word is. Just one word, Papa. In the evening or at night, let's say approximately 8:30, the child is upstairs in the bedroom and she just simply loudly says, Papa! And the father is perhaps in downstairs in the drawing room or the living room, perhaps reading his newspaper or on his laptop. And he immediately says, yes, beta, yes, I'm coming. I know I have to read you a story before I put you to sleep. The word is Papa. Consciousness at both times is different. Similarly, there are so many who chant the Mahamantra. What is their consciousness? Nam Chintamani. As Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the last verse, we will encounter this verse again, how he has beautifully composed. So Nam is Chintamani. Whatever you ask, it will give you, because the Nam is Sri Krishna and their beloved associates. Whether it is Lord Narayana, Lakshmi Devi, and Lakshmi Devi's servants, they are all present in the word Hara. Or whether it is Krishna of Dwarka, or Krishna of Mathura, or the queens of Dwarka, they are present in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, their consciousness is completely different. A very amazing dimension, which is the consciousness of Vrindavan of Raj. Not the Krishna of Narayana of Vaikuntha, not the Krishna of Dwarka, not the Krishna of Mathura, not any of the personalities of Godhead, but only that Krishna, exclusively Krishna, which in Chaitanya Manjusha says, Aradhya Bhagavan of Vrajeshatanes, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Consciousness. And that is why the Mahamantra is so amazing, that it has so many multifarious meanings depending on the consciousness of the person, and they're all perfect in their own respective ways. The word Hara or Hare for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas is not Mahalakshmi. It is not the expansions of Mahalakshmi, many, many Lakshmis. It is that Lakshmi, that Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And who are those Lakshmis? The gopis of Vrindavan, headed by Srimati Radharani. That is what the word, that's what, when we chant the holy names, that is what should be Smaraniya. That is what should be our consciousness, that we are addressing them. And of course, Srila Prabhupada, very, very in simple terms in the beginning days, to make the Western devotees understand, because they had a very clean slate. Most of them don't even know who Narayan is or Lakshmi Devi is or all the different incarnations. Slowly and slowly, when Prabhupada translated all the different cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, because when Srila Prabhupada came, in the beginning he had only translated canto number 1. But then canto number 2, etc., and all the, up to canto 9 describes the different incarnations of the Lord and the different parts of the creation and the different pastimes of the various supreme, or of the various personalities of God. And then in the 10th canto, he describes the pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan. And Prabhupada somehow or the other felt that what happens if I leave before? So therefore he first also gave the 10th canto in the form of Krishna book. Very, very simplified version. So our consciousness depends what we are chanting. If somebody is chanting Mahamantra because they have heard that it gives us everything, that for money, then they will get it. Nam Chintamani. Whatever, Arti, Artharthi, Jnani, Jigyasu, if they chant Mahamantra, then they will get the desired result. But that is not the optimal use of the holy names. Because the holy names again and again we repeat, they are Krishna and Krishna's associates. And they are similar to Prabhupada has given this, Prabhupada has given this example, that if you go to a very, very rich man, let's say he's Kharapati, and he's so generous, he can give whatever money whoever asks for, like Danvir Karna. So let's say 3-4 people go there. The first person is asking, my dear sir, can you give me 1 rupee? So he said, okay, give him 1 rupee. The other person is asking, sir, can you give me 1 lakh rupees? Okay, give him 1 lakh. Another person is saying, give me 1 crore. He says, okay, take 1 crore. Another person is saying, give me 100 crores. And he is willing to give that. So if we apply this example that Srila Prabhupada gave, Nam can give us everything. Because again and again, abhinnatvam namna namino. So if we ask for 1 rupee, Nam can give us that. But if we ask for Krishna Prem, the optimal use of Nam, Nam can bestow that. Yesterday we mentioned that the Nam even bestowed Nanda Nandan his desire of obtaining Radha. Nam Chintamani, right? That was the desire of the son of Nanda Maharaj in Vraj. Obviously, when I say Nanda Maharaj, it implies Vraj. So, I want the mood of Srimati Radharani. He chanted Mahamantra continuously 12 years in the Gambhira. That is Krishna Nam, Dhare, Kotobal. What kind of strength? How much power does this possess? Vishay Vasanale Mora Chitta Sadajale. My heart is always burning due to the worldly desires in the fire, samsara damana. And how Ravi Tapta Maru Bhumi Sama, just like the scorching heat in the desert. Krishna Randra Patadiya Riddhi Maje Praveshya. And the holy name enters within my heart. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, through my ears. We have to be a little introspective. Does the holy names when we chant, does it enter our hearts or it's simply superficial? It stays here, either comes out or it comes out from here. The most important thing that the holy names must enter our heart. I'm just doing a little revision, perhaps for those who did not attend yesterday. Very quick, before I enter into the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th verse. Hriday hoite bole jivaro agreta chale. The holy name speaks in my heart. Because it's a living person. Nama Chintamani Sri Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Chaitanya means living. Just like we are living. We are Chaitanya. And Rasa Vigraha, the embodiment of all rasas. Especially for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, that rasa is, what is that rasa? Loudly. Yes? Very nice. Even let's refine it further. Very nice. Parkya rasa within Madhurya. Let's refine it even further. We mentioned that yesterday. One second. Yeah, you said something? Radha, not Radha Bhav. Very big mistake. 0 marks on that one. I understood what you're trying to say, but if you write that in an exam paper, that's impossible to get Radha Bhav. Radha Dasyam. Radha Dasyam. So, that is the consciousness that it talks to me. Now, when the holy name is talking, who is talking? Not only, always specify for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. When I say, now I'm speaking exclusively for Gaudiya Vaishnavas on behalf of them. Who is talking? Loudly, please. Not only Radha Krishna, but Krishna of Vrindavan, Radharani, and the associates. They are talking to me. Just imagine, when will that day come? Nobody is discussing these things. Why not? If Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given this bhajan, it is meant to be understood and then realized. Many people come and approach me and say, we have never heard these things. And I'm surprised. There's so many learned people in our ISKCON movement. Either they are afraid to speak about these things because they say that, oh, Prabhupada never said that. Unfortunately, they have not read Prabhupada's books. Everything that Prabhupada has given, Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is so deep. Just because I have not seen Japan, can I say Japan does not exist? Or I've never heard the word Japan, so I don't know, I've never heard it. Some say that your classes are keep it very simple. They are very new persons. So if that is the mantra that every temple administration is chanting from the 1965, the incorporation of ISKCON, until now, then how will we advance? Because always, ISKCON doors are always open to everyone. We don't know who's walking through that door. Very new person or a very advanced person. But as long as we do not cross the line where the understanding of the speaker is beyond his capacity and speaks about very esoteric subject matters on the amorous pastimes in general public, then that is where we have to kind of draw the line. But the Siddhant of Rasa, we should not draw the line. And what does Chaitanya Charitamrita say? Krishna Bhakti Sadhu Karunai, Shravanadi Chitte Karo Udai. Krishna Bhakti is in everybody's heart. It is not to be obtained from outside. We have to hear, listen, read, serve the Bhagavatas, Mahabhagavats, like Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami. What Mahaprabhu says, that's important. Not what a certain administrator says in a certain temple. Just because they have never heard and just because they are sometimes preachers, they feel that, oh, I have never heard this. I was challenged one time in Chicago. I was on Janmashtami day, I was giving katha on Krishna. Janmashtami, the advent of Lord Krishna. So I mentioned this about what Prabhupada said, that there are many types of Krishna, but we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. Nandanandan Krishna in Vrindavan. And Mother Yashoda gave birth to twins. She actually gave birth to twins. That secret is there. But nobody's talking about it because they don't read about it. She gave birth to Yogmaya Kanya and she gave birth to Nandanandan or Yashoda Nandan Krishna. So when I spoke about that, this Mataji, who is supposed to be so-called the top-notch preacher of Bhakti Vrukshas, leading many groups, accepting hundreds of obeisances from the group, she said, Prabhu, I've never heard this. Can you give me some references? And in a very arrogant way. There's a different thing when somebody says, it's very interesting what you just said. Can you provide some reference? That's a different story and then challenging because I am a preacher, I know. Huh? To such preachers I say, you have not read Prabhupada's books properly. I'm very sorry to say that. And then I said, now it's prasadam time. Go upstairs, have prasadam. When you come downstairs in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I will give you enough references. And please leave me your phone number so I can WhatsApp you those. And I sent her at least 10 references, if I can recollect, on how Krishna is the actual son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, the Krishna in Vrindavan. So preachers should be very appreciative. And that's what I personally, when I sit in a class, I'm very appreciative of whoever is speaking because there's something that I don't know, I learn. And I mentioned that yesterday, that even Lord Ananta Shesh says that even if I had millions and millions of ears and millions of mouths, I'm not able to sufficiently glorify or hear the glorification of Krishna. And just because we read a few chapters of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, and just because we attract some neophytes, we think we have become gurus. We are treading on very thin ice. We have to be extremely careful. That is why this tattva, Gauriya tattva is very important. Why we are chanting Mahamantra? What is our consciousness when we chant Mahamantra? Nobody speaks about that. And I'm not saying I'm great. All I'm saying is our acharyas are great because I'm presenting their explanations, their bhajans as it is. If at all, if you like something out of this, then all glories to them. And I am speaking it as it is. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, then each to its own, as they say. We all have minded independence, anuswatantrata. So we can use it, misuse it as we please. Yatha, what is that? Even after speaking the Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say? Yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. Do as you please. Nobody can put, even Krishna doesn't put a gun to our head. You must love me. Then that is not bhakti. It is voluntarily, spontaneously, when we perform. That is why Prabhupada has translated in English to the best way, loving devotional service. Sometimes English words are very, very difficult to find the exact meaning of either a Sanskrit word or a Hindi word. But we can get the essence, what His Divine Grace is trying to say. So who is talking in my heart? And their associates. So when we have to cry, when will that day happen to me? When will I? Some of us, we think we are so advanced. Let's read this again and again, absorb these bhajans of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur and our acharyas. In one bhajan, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur in Sharanagati, this book itself, he says, in the mood of deep humility, Amar Jivana Sada Papiratha, Nahika Punyara Lesha, Parera Udrega Diyachi Koto, Diyachi Jivara Klesha. My life is full of sins, not even an iota of piety or punya karma. Parera Udrega Diyachi Ami. I've given so much distress to others. Diyachi Jivara Klesha. And I've given so much distress to other jivas. That is me, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. Where do we stand? The more we contemplate on such bhajans, even if we don't read any shastra, we will attain perfection. Because these bhajans are nothing but the complete, refined, most refined realizations that are simply put in 4 verses, 6 verses, 8 verses. And not mechanically. Initially we do that mechanically, it's all right. Even then we will get benefit because we are hearing the words of the pure devotee. But if we understand and finally realize, then we will certainly become very, very advanced. हृदय होते बोले जीवर अग्रे तो चले. In my heart, the holy name speaks. And Jivar Agrata Chale, on the tip of the tongue. How many times have you heard this Prabhupada saying that if you chant Krishna's name in without making offenses, purely, Krishna will dance on your tongue, on the tip of your tongue. Never ever you will find any discrepancy in the statements of our acharyas. Our Srila Prabhupada has absorbed this bhajan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And that's how he has presented that Krishna will dance. Jivete agreta chale. Agra means the tip. Sada rupe nache anushana. And when that ecstasy happens, not only the devotee dances, Krishna dances. when the pure devotee chants the holy names. Lord Krishna and their associates dance. Because to them it is music, transcendental music to the ears. And they dance. How many of us have ever thought like this? Honestly speaking, such deep line of thought that a pure devotee, when he chants, Krishna and their associates dance out of ecstasy. Twarang kape dhara thara, sthir hoite na pare charana. Kantha mor bhanga. What a beautiful thing. That's what he's saying. That I cannot even chant the holy names. My words are not coming out properly out of ecstasy. My whole body is shaking. Chaksha dhara de, lots of tears. Nanam gada shrudharaya. Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasura Sena Romancha Kampan Ashru Taranga. That's exactly what he's saying. One may not know the entire Mangalarti, but if we just know this one verse, we have understood Mangalarti. Chakshidhara Dehe Karma Pulakita Sava Charma. My hair stand on an end. Romancha. Vivarana Hoilo Kalevara. My body changes color. This is called what we call Ashtasattvic Vikar. The different symptoms. When somebody goes into Samadhi. Not the Samadhi of those Mayavadis. No. This is the Samadhi. Sakshat Krishna and their associates are dancing. So we can even say very safely, when Krishna and the gopis are dancing, it is the Ras Leela that is happening on the tongue of a pure devotee. Which is the highest mood in Vraj, is the Ras Leela. Murchita hoilo man, I faint. Pralaya agaman, and huge devastation takes place. What is that devastation? Anything material is devastated. Finished. No material desires, no material consciousness. Pralaya agaman. And also pralaya means, what is mentioned by many, many wonderful acharyas, is when one takes to Krishna consciousness, even the gopis say that look how cruel Krishna is. Please hear this explanation very carefully. Look how cruel Krishna is. I cannot remember that shloka. But the essence of that shloka is, Krishna, you are so cruel. Actually this explanation is, yes, on the 9th verse of the Gopi Geet. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. In that, there is a grammatical composition where the explanation is given that wherever there is a word preceding before another word, where there is a or e, then the next word can have an opposite meaning also. So for example, tava katha, that word katha ends in the word a. And the most amazing meaning is amrutam. But also, it can mean, because the previous word ended in a, it means you can take out the first letter of that second word, so that tava katha is mrutta. It brings death to everything. Pralaya agaman. What is that death? It brings death to all attachments to the family life. So the gopis in Kataksh, yesterday I said Kataksh, in sarcasm he says, that we left everything and we came to you, O Krishna. And you are so cruel to us. What you are giving us is not Amrut, but you are giving us death. So beautiful. This is the beauty of our Acharya's commentaries. You are giving that to all the sadhus who have given up their homes and they are roaming around in the forest, chanting your holy names. And what have you given them? Not even proper food to eat. They are surviving on simply some milk or some fruits. What kind of a cruel personality you are? They are making Krishna feel very guilty in Gopi Geet. There are so many moods in the Gopi Geet. There is deep humility. There is deep anger. There is deep sarcasm. Just not one, what we read the meaning. We sing that in Kartik every time and then we just simply read the meaning. But those who are most fortunate, if they have some glimpse into the Acharya's heart when they explain such beautiful. So Pralayara Agamana, one who takes to Krishna consciousness is destroyed. He becomes akinchana, no money, no place to stay. Pralayara Agamana. But in a transcendental way, because that bodily concept is slowly and surely destroyed. No attachments. Our 6 Goswamis never slept under, they always slept under a tree, but never more than 3 days for fear of getting attached. This is my seat. Have you seen that in the temple sometimes? A particular devotee sits in one place and by mistake or, out of innocence, somebody goes, he says, please get up, this is my seat. We're so attached. We're attached to so many things. People don't want to give up these things. Even coming to the temple environment, whether it is temple president, vice president, temple commander, we want our positions forever. We should be like those Raj Rishis. After a certain time, train others and give it up. Just like those Raj Rishis trained their own son and gave up the great position of king. And they went into pure bhajan. Nobody wants to do that. They're so attached. I see some temple presidents for 40 years. This is not criticism. Please try to understand. This is about what this verse is saying. That all this deep attachment should be. It is also an attachment. One may say it is attachment for Krishna's service. There are so many other services. Don't give me that excuse. There are so many. The best service is to chant properly, so that we can be a perfect example to others. That is the best service in Krishna consciousness. And how can we think that others are not better than me, or others, if I train properly? What happens if that 40-year going on president dies suddenly? Then what? Somebody else will take over. So the services of Krishna will never stop. But our attachments have to stop. If our attachments, consciousness, again we come with the word consciousness, is for that position, and we use it as a facade. Facade means a nakab in Hindi. In the name of seva, then there is a problem. That is why Srila Prabhupada, this is a very touchy topic, but sometimes when the Ritviks quote that, they are 100% right. Prabhupada had the directive of management. And that very clearly is said that all the GBC will stay only for 3 years and 25% of them will stay back to train the new ones. All the temple presidents will elect the GBC, a democratic process. And all the initiated congregation members will elect the temple president. How many of us are following that rule? And why Prabhupada said that? So that we will not get attached to that seat. Anytime we are in administration, our bhajan is not pure. Most of the time I've seen they are agitated. They cannot even finish their 16 rounds properly. So yes, there is a necessity, just like in wartime, you train the civilians how to run to shoot with the gun. But after it is finished, then you come back to normalcy. So if there is a need, yes, one becomes temple president, one becomes administrator, but after it is done, why continue for so many years? What about your own bhajan? And there are so many devotees who are capable. So that is pralaya agaman. When we chant properly, that pralaya should come, that destruction should come, that all this is useless. Sorry, I'm a very direct person. I don't mince words. Some may like it, some may not like it. And I'm okay with that. Because my job is to speak it as it is without chewing or mincing words. Koriyete upadrava chitte varsha sudhadrava. And this holy name creates disturbance, transcendental disturbance. Like the gopis are always disturbed, transcendently disturbed. See the mood here? That is transcendental upadrav. When will Krishna come? One gopi will say, no, he's not coming. He has gone there. Oh, really, he's not coming? Then they cry. Radharani cries. What is that crying? There is nobody that cries as much as Srimati Radharani. And therefore His Holiness Sripad Nityalila Prabhu Gaur Govind Maharaj says, do not disturb the mood of Gaur. Do not put the peacock feather on Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Pure Vaishnavas can really see that mood. Because if we remind Mahaprabhu that he is Krishna by putting the peacock feather, how will he cry in separation that Radharani feels? Get the point? Not making this up. Read. And Sri Gaur Govind Maharaj was one of the most important stalwarts, pure devotee in our movement, who had understood completely. If you read his books, all these things that I'm saying, some of them here and there, it comes from his books. So do not disturb the mood of Gauranga Mahaprabhu by putting a peacock feather. Because then, yesterday for example, I had gone to Lakshmi Nrsimha Mandir. And one devotee who was with me, he started chanting Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatamukham, that verse. And then later on I told him that mantra is not for Lakshmi Nrsimha. That is for Ugra Nrsimha. Ugra means one who is extremely angry when he saw that Prahlad was being tortured by the demon Hiranyakashipu. My dear devotee, how dare somebody do that? He was extremely angry, Ugra. That's why even Lakshmi Devi could not go in front of him. The Brahma, Lord Shiva, they said, Lakshmi Devi, this is your husband, go. Pacify. Oh, no, I've never seen him like this before. I cannot go. Nobody wanted to go there in front of Ugra Nrsimha. Then they pushed Prahlad. Prahlad, you only go and pacify him. That famous picture of Prahlad garlanding Nrsimha Dev, that's how he pacifies him. When Nrsimha Dev picks him up and puts him on his lap. And then he becomes very peaceful. And he licks Prahlad Maharaj's head. He puts his hand and caresses his head. So we have to look at the mood. Our mood in our ISKCON temples, Prabhupada never, as far as I'm concerned, established Lakshmi Nrsimha. It's only Ugra Nrsimha. All these things slowly changing. Why? Lakshmi Nrsimha is those who want to worship them for Vaikuntha, for opulence. And here we are trying to worship and get the mood of grudge. Think about it. So Lakshmi Narasimha is for those who want opulence, who wants Lakshmi and also wants protection. So Lakshmi Narasimha is for this. But Ugra Narasimha is for those who want complete protection from all calamities, including calamities that arise in bhakti. And moreover, in the Rajmood, why do ISKCON, all including Gaudiya Math, they worship Narasimha. The true inner meaning of worshipping, because Mother Yashoda used to worship Narasimha. The Vrajvasis worship Narasimha for the protection of Krishna. Because nobody knows in Vraj that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is just my darling son, or my dear friend, or my darling lover. Because so many calamities used to come in Vraj. So many demons came. If we go on Govardhan Parikrama on the inner mark, just after Govind Kund, and look down, there is on the left side like a spot. There is Ugra Narasimha Dev's temple, very ancient, and it is said that it was actually established by the great grandson of Krishna, Vajranam. Very prachin. I don't know how many of you have taken darshan of that Ugra Narasimha. It's just before Apsara Kund and Naval Kund, just before Puchri Ka Lotha. Amazing, beautiful Ugra Narasimha. And only Ugra Narasimha can really protect. So they are praying when Mother Yashoda is churning the churning rod and making makhan, she is always singing. The glories or the pastimes or whatever has happened until now. My Krishna, when you are only 6 days old, in the form of a song, she is. Jiva Goswami has explained this in Gopal Champu, chapter number 8. That she's singing, "Oh, my dear darling boy, may you grow very strong. May you be very healthy. When you were only 6 days, a big calamity was averted. When Putna came and tried to kill you, that demoness. But Nand Maharaj's Parmeshwar saved you." In another place he says, Vishnu saved you. Like that she is, that's why the Vrajvasis, they worship Vishnu, Narayan. Because they don't know that in their own backyard or in their front yard or in their side yard, it is the Supreme Param Brahma. What is that verse? Anybody remembers? When Mahaprabhu was speaking to Raghupati Upadhyay. This is a wonderful verse that some worship or study Brahman, some worship Mahabharata, some worship this and that, the Upanishads and the Shrutis. But I worship the son of Nanda Maharaj who is playing Param Brahma, he uses that word, in the yard of Nanda Maharaj, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is playing in Gokul, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Shruti Pare, something like that. The verse starts like that. It's been a long time. And Mahaprabhu was extremely pleased when he heard that. Mora dare premere sagare kichuna bujite dilo. It doesn't let me understand anything. More to batula koila, and my heart is stolen. More chitta vitta sabahare. It takes away everything from me. Then he says in the 5th verse, Loino ashraychar hano vyavartar. I take full shelter. And what is the one who has taken shelter of such holy names? What is their vyavar? What is their behavior? It is not possible for me to describe it. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Varnita na pare ei shakal. Because somebody who is situated on the highest transcendental platform, one cannot, just like you cannot describe Krishna completely millions of mouths and millions of years, similarly one cannot describe even a personality of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada used to say that many people came and say that the Christians say God is great, the Muslims say Allahu Akbar. The word Akbar means great. God is great, but Prabhupada used to laugh and say, they don't know how great He is. So we know the name of God. We know many names of God. They only call Him one by one name. We know who God's father and mother is. They don't know that. We know where God stays. They don't know that. They know what He does 24 hours. What are His different pastimes? They don't know that. So they don't know how great He is. And similarly, on a similar tone, I say that we all say, Ha Prabhu karo daya dev padachaya, dancing and glorifying Prabhupada, but we don't know how great He is. This is exactly what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. Varnite na pare ei shakal. It is impossible to describe the glories of such great Vaishnavas, whose behavior is completely transcendental. One time in Juhu temple, Prabhupada was giving darshan. If you have taken darshan on the 5th floor, Prabhupada's quarters are there. Just like in Vrindavan, Prabhupada is his home. In Juhu also, Prabhupada, when he stayed, his room is there in Prabhupada Tower. So he was sitting, and every evening he used to give darshan. And many people came. Students came, business people came, devotees were there, and just simply people who wanted to take darshan of this Prabhupada, they came and sat. So one businessman was sitting in the front, like you. And in between, one Prabhupada disciple came and said, Prabhupada, this is very important, sorry to disturb you. So Prabhupada said, yes, what is it? So Prabhupada said, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it was about something to do with the construction of the temple. Perhaps the contractor was waiting for an answer and he needed to decide now so that the construction would not stop. So that devotee who was in charge came. And this person sitting in the front is thinking in his mind that what kind of Swamiji this is. He's talking about money, he's talking about bricks, he's talking about cement. In his mind that crossed, and Prabhupada could feel it. When everybody left, he said, you sit. And when everybody left, he told that person, come here. And Prabhupada lifted his kurta and he said, put your ear against my back. And he mentions that he could constantly hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he asked for forgiveness as if Prabhupada didn't even say, why you think like that? He said that you have read my mind and I was so wrong. So that is the reason we say that Heno Vyavar Tar, Varnita Na Pari Ei Shakal. Similarly, the holy names, why it behaves like this, makes us crazy, brings disturbance. Similarly, the pure devotees, we cannot ever describe their qualities or their behavior. Another good example comes to mind. Gadadhar Pandit was encouraged by, I think it was Mukunda Sarkar, and said that there is a wonderful devotee by the name of Pundrik Vidyanidhi, come have his darshan. So he went, and Gadadhar Pandit, when he saw Pundrik Vidyanidhi, was lying down like this in a very aristocratic pose on a silk bed, wearing wonderful silk clothes, aromatic fragrances, perfumes, eating betel nut, that pan, nice golden box studded with gems. the pan holder. And at that time, Gadadhar Pandit had a doubt. What kind of Vaishnava this is? So when Mukund, Srila Mukund understood that, what he did is he simply brought a peacock feather fan and he started fanning him. When Pundrak Vidya saw the peacock feathers, he immediately went into ecstasy. He tore his kurta. He disheveled his hair. He rolled on the ground just seeing the peacock feather, reminding him of Krishna and Vrindavan. Such ecstasy he went into. And then Gadadhar Pandit understood, I made an offense by thinking like that. He asked for forgiveness. And then he got initiated by Gadadhar Pandit. I'm sorry, by Srila Pundrik Vidyanidhi. Gadadhar Pandit got initiated by Srila Pundrik Vidyanidhi. And who is Srila Pundrik Vidyanidhi? Nidhi in Radha Krishna's Nitya Leela is none other than King Vrishabhanu. So we should not immediately judge somebody just by their clothes. How much devotion they have, that is important. We all have this judgmental attitude that we judge people very easily. If you have to judge somebody, Radhanath Swami said, judge yourself first. We all do this very nicely. We like to criticize. Because that is the material world. That's what we have learned since time immemorial, since many births. She said, don't stop criticizing. But don't criticize yourself. Many years ago I heard His Holiness Radhanath Swami say that. So that is the process. Krishna naam ichha moy, jai jai sukhi hoy. The name of Krishna is completely independent and acts on his sweet will. Abhikya Swarat. Srimad Bhagavata, first verse. Vyasdev is talking about Krishna. And the holy names is Krishna. So it is completely independent. Right or wrong? Make sense? If you apply the same nyaya or logic, Krishna is his holy name. If Krishna is fully independent, Swarat, so is the holy names. So the holy names does not necessarily reveal itself to everyone. In other words, completely independent. One time Srila Prabhupada was in Cross Maidan, Mumbai, where children play cricket or whether a cricket match. Huge Maidan, huge ground. And there were about 10,000 people. They had a Pandal program. And one Indian man, he stood up and challenged Prabhupada. He said in Hindi, how many of you understand Hindi here? Please raise your hands. Hindi Vardilla? No Hindi? Hindi, he said, Swami ji, agar Bhagwan hai to dikhaiye. In front of 10,000 people, he shouted, Swamiji, if there is God, show me God. He stood there and Prabhupada said, कृष्णा तुम्हारे बाप का नौकर नहीं है जो बंसी बजाते बजाते तुम्हारे सामने खड़ा हो जाएगा. पहले योग्यता पाओ, अब बैठ जाओ. Krishna is not your father's servant that he will play the flute and whenever he will call, he will come at your call and beckon. First, get that qualification. And now you sit down. He was aghast, shocked. Not a single word could come out of his mouth, and the whole audience clapped. That is preaching. We should be able to preach boldly like that. Somebody, when we are preaching, somebody will ask us this. Show me God. You are talking Hare Krishna, chanting, dancing. Where is God? Show me God. Why are you wasting your time? You should be going and getting a good education, getting a good job. Why are you a brahmachari? Go work. You are lazy. They will say that. We are giving money and you are running the temple and you are eating the money the prasadam given by us. Go get a job. What do they understand, those rascals? Hmm? So qualification, it is fully independent. It will reveal as much as we are surrendered. Same thing, ye yatha mam prapadyate tam sa tathaiva bhajamiyam. Because the holy name is Krishna and Krishna's most intimate associates, including Srimati Radharani, they reserve the right. You have ever seen somewhere when you go to some elite place or even some restaurants, at least in America, we see that we reserve the right of service. Have you seen that placard or that sign? We reserve the right to service because they are the owners of the shop. They have made the rules. So the holy names, Krishna reserves the right based on our level of surrender. It will reveal so many things, or it will not reveal. Krishna naam ichha hoy, jaye jaye sukhi hoy. And only when Krishna is happy, when the holy names are happy with us, then it will reveal it to us. प्रेमर कली का नाम अद्भुत रसेर धाम हेनो बाल हेनो बल करे प्रकाश. Kali, what does Kali mean? A small flowering bud. Premera Kali ka naam. It is the bud of the divine love of Raj and the different rasas, the mellows. Hano bala kare prakash. And the holy name's own strength will reveal. Not that our sadhana, not our puja, not our austerities. No. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Coming back to Chaitanya Charitamrita. I forgot the name of that person who wanted to enter into the Srivas nightly kirtans and he was not allowed. What was his name? Huh? No, but there was a name. So he was very upset. I am performing so many austerities. I am a good Brahman brahmachari and I'm only drinking milk. I'm not taking anything else. I am qualified to go into Mahaprabhu's inner leelas. And immediately Mahaprabhu said that is not the qualification. Because Mahaprabhu used to reveal himself, that Mahaprakash, he showed everyone. He's not going to show everyone. Not any Tom, Dick and Harry as they say in the United States. Qualification. Similarly, this is also Srivasangan, the holy names. It will reveal as much as he wants to reveal because he's completely or they are completely independent. Swarat. ईशत विकसी पुनः देखाय निज रूप गुण चित्त हरि लोय Krishna pass. Although the holy name may display very, very slight its power, but it is capable of revealing the qualities, the guna, rupa, and it steals my heart, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. And where does it take? Stealing means one object. If you steal, let's say somebody steals this kartal, he has to put it somewhere. Maybe in his pocket or maybe in his home. This is stolen as an example. So once the holy name steals my heart, where does it take it? It takes it to himself, meaning to Krishna. Amazing, huh? पूर्ण विकसित होइया ब्रज मोर जाय लोया देखाय मोर स्वरूप विलास. Wow, this is such a wonderful verse. What is the greatness of this verse? Oh. when it fully reveals or it manifests, when it fully manifests the holy name, Shuddha Nam, Purna Vikasita. Vikasit means to, the Vikas means to, yes, it will full bloom. Where does it take me? Braje Mora Jai Loya. It takes me to Vraj. How beautiful, no? Sitting here, wherever we are, whether we are sitting here in ICC or we are sitting here in Shishadipuram or we are sitting in Mumbai or we are sitting wherever in Canada, US, when we chant without offenses, pure name, when it bestows its mercy on us, because it's fully independent, it will take us to Vraj, no matter where we are. So here it also indicates that Vraj is just not a geographical location, it is also a consciousness. Like you might be, let's say, going to, for a job purposes, you go to the US. But when you are thinking simply of your Bangalore, so it is also consciousness. Bangalore is in your consciousness. Similarly, Jatha Vaishnava Gana Sahi Sthan Vrindavan, Sri Narottam Das Thakur says, wherever there are pure Vaishnavas, that place becomes Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is not only a real geographical location, but it is also a consciousness. So we can be in Vrindavan. So that is why we say, when Prabhupada said, if you chant minimum 16 good rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles, you will go home back to Godhead. This back to Godhead is more or less like in the beginning days, Prabhupada, and to the neophytes, he's saying that like a mother is telling a child, do your homework properly and I will let you play 1 extra hour. It is just simply some kind of a pralobhanam or enticement. Chant your 16 rounds, you will go back. But even in that enticement, his words will come true. Those devotees who will chant 16 minimum good rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles, somehow or the other, because Krishna will always listen to the pure devotee. Prabhupada said, you will go home back to Godhead. Krishna will make sure that they will go home back to Godhead. But Prabhupada didn't say back to Golo, back to Vrindavan. Because Godhead is a very big place. If our consciousness is not bloomed and fructified to the level of Vrindavan, of Raj, then, because Prabhupada said, you chant minimum 16 good rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles, yes, we will enter into any quarter of Vaikuntha. Not necessarily Vrindavan, because if we have not got that mood, that consciousness, no entry. Madhavji will not let us enter. Gopeshwar Madhav is sitting guarding the dham. Unqualified persons not allowed. We are talking about especially the transcendental, that is why Madhavji does not reveal. When we are walking under a tree, do we see it as a kalpa vriksha? Some people are spitting. Some people are throwing empty water bottles. That's what they are doing in the dham. Why? Because they don't see it as dham is Chintamani. They don't see the real dham. Yog Maya and Madhavji are covering it, protecting. So we can see how far we have to yet go. Right or wrong? So, I was about to say something that the consciousness, yes. The consciousness is there, but there was a very important point that I skipped and I was saying it's very important. Anyways, if it comes to me, it will come. Maybe Krishna doesn't want me to reveal that. So he took that. Matta smriti jnana apohanam cha. So he took it away. At least temporarily he has taken it away. Because perhaps maybe somebody will take it offensively. So maybe Krishna says, okay, don't overload the listeners. Purna vikashita hoya braje mora jai loya. It takes me to Vrindavan, to Vraj. Dekhai mora Swarupa Vilas. Wow. It's a really big wow. If you're writing it down, put a big wow there, Prabhuji. So the full revelation that the holy name gives me, it also gives me my Ekadash Bhav. The 11 symptoms of who I am. So when we go through this process of Adhu Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, then real bhakti starts at Nishtha Ruchi. In Nishtha Ruchi stage, we get the Lobha of Raganuga Bhakti. And when that Lobha gets to its maximum crescendo, then that next stage of Asakti, deep attachment, in that it further feeds that Lobha. Like we feed the fire with ghee. That Lobha is further fed in Asakti stage. And then in Asakti stage and Bhav stage, it is revealed to us who we are. Why? Because in that stage our holy names is in Shuddhanam. We would have reached Shuddhanam. We would have crossed the barrier of Namaprad, barrier of Namabhas. And when we reach that stage of Asakti and Bhav, it's only Shuddhanam. So that time, that Shuddha Nam through the Acharyas, it is revealed. We sing this every day. Chakshudana dilo jai janme janme Prabhu say. What is that Chakshudan? Divya Gran Hriday Prakashito. So it is not necessary that physically somebody is present and say will touch us like that ET. The energy is passed. Not like that. Divya Gran Hriday Prakashito. ओम जन्मादियस्य यतोन्वयादितरश्चार्थेषु अभिज्ञ स्वराट तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये. That spiritual knowledge is revealed in the heart. Similarly, that the Vraj and the who we are in Vraj is revealed in the heart. Very clearly it says that. Dekhai more Swarupa Vilas. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur in one section of Bhajan Lalsa says, देखिते देखिते भूलिबो वा कबे निज स्थूल परिचय नयने हेरिबो ब्रजपुर शोभा नित्यचित आनंदमोय विश्वभानुपुरे जन्म होइलो यावते hoibe. Further, he's saying so many wonderful things in that. He says, when will that day come? Dekhite, dekhite, when will that day come when I will forget Nija Sthula Parichay, this bodily concept, out of humility? Nayane Herivo Vrajpur Shobha, when will I get the real eyes to see the real Vraj? Vrajpur Shobha. The entire Vraj Mandal, when I will be able to really see it in its sweetness and opulence. Shobha means that. And then in his Lalsa, Lalsa means longing. We should all have that Bhajan Lalsa. That strong desire, crying. Nayana Erivo Vraj Nitya Chid Anandamoya. When will I be able to see Vraj in its reality and be situated on the platform of pure bliss and pure transcendental knowledge of Vraj? Shall I share one secret in the first verse of Chaitanya Sistastakam, which is analogous to what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying in this bhajan? You all remember Chaitanya Sistastakam. How many of you all know it by heart, please? Raise your hands. Chaitanya Sistastakam? Cheto Darpana Marjanam? What is that word? When we say Cheto Darpana Marjanam, what does the holy names do? The first effect is it will cleanse our hearts, the mirror of our mind, right? Our chetna. It is polluted since time immemorial. It will clean it. That is the negativity is gone. Cheto darpanam marjam bhava mahadava agni nirvapanam. the great forest fire of material existence will be finished. Negativities are gone. What is the positivity? What is the positivity? Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. I'm going to share with you one very internal deep meaning. Our hearts are like those lilies, Shreya Kairava, that blossom only in the beautiful full Purnima moonlight. And what is that moonlight? Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Jay Chaya Jagat Judai. Heno Nitai Vine Bhai Radha Krishna Paite Nai Drida Kori Dharo Nitai Pai. So when Lord Nityananda bestows His mercy after our anartha nivritti, when our hearts have been completely cleansed, then at that time now we become full receivers. I think I mentioned this yesterday, that if we take a half-liter vessel to the milkman, he will give only half, because our capacity is only half-liter. So then our capacity is completely unlimited to receive that mercy. So Lord Nityananda or Lord Balaram, through our acharyas, bestows His mercy, those rays of benediction, going through the heart of the entire parampara, including Srila Prabhupada, the 32nd one, in our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And because their hearts are so pure and clear and crystal clear, any moon rays that pass through or any light that passes through a crystal clear object, here that object is the hearts of our Vaishnavas, will reach our heart. Completely everything without any contamination or without any holdback or without any 100% of what their hearts are, of Lord Nityananda's mercy, Lord Balram's mercy, passing through their hearts, comes within our hearts. And when those moon rays touch our hearts, what will happen? Our heart will blossom. Shreya Kairava Chandrika. Vidya Vitaranam. What is that Vitaranam? Vitaranam is then we become good preachers. We get the mood of Gauravani Pracharini. That is what Gauravani means, what Mahaprabhu wants. Mahaprabhu wants that we chant so nicely that we enter this mood of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And that way we will get this more Siddha Deha Diya, Krishna Pase Rakhe Giya. And then Krishna will always eternally keep us with him. We have received this wonderful gift of Krishna consciousness. Even though it may not be of this level that is being discussed, we can still give that gift to all. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Updesh. That is Vitaranam, reaching Krishna consciousness. But what is that Vitaranam? There is the highest principle here, Vidyavadu Jivanam. What is that Vidyavadu Jivanam? Anybody would like to try? What is that Vidyavadu Jivanam? Yes, Prabhuji? Loudly, please.
The girl goes like the dowry issue, the Krishna gives his special sort of proper knowledge and understanding.
Okay, proper knowledge and understanding. Okay, that's a good example of the dowry. But yes, but the internal meaning, I'm looking for a much more deeper meaning. And I'm sure some of you may already know it, but I thought just give a chance. Anybody else would like to attempt? What does Vidyavadu Jivanam mean? It means here Lord Nityananda or Lord Balram, who is present in all five rasas, is also Ananga Manjari, the younger sister of Srimati Radharani. And when we are fully qualified, she initiates us into Manjari Bhav. And that Vidyavadu Jivanam means we will get the knowledge of the Manjaris and the Vadus, meaning the Gopis of Vrindavan, how their service in Radha Dasyam is. That is the deeper meaning of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Chaitanya Sishtastakam first verse, Vidyavadu Jivanam. Then we will say, oh wow, this is how they serve Srimati Radharani. This is their mood. Krishna, we are not going on Pati Sutan Vaya, 16th verse of Gopi Geet. Bhrata Bandhava, we have given up everything and we have come to you. That is Sharanagati. The Sharanagati of the Sharan of Arjun was not sufficient enough. Another secret, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was having his conversation with Rai Ramananda on the banks of the river Godavari, right here in Dakshin Bharat, Vidyanagar, he asked this question, what is the highest goal of mankind? And please give me your answers in such a way that they are substantiated with the support of Shastra. Of course, Rai Ramananda is Vishaka Saki. Whatever he speaks is Shastra, or she speaks is Shastra. But for the sadhak, whenever we say something, it should be supported by, as it is, by references of the Shastra. So please, whatever you say, please quote the proper corresponding verse. What is the goal of human life? So first thing is kind of, just to summarize, he says that from Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Yat Karoshi, Yat Asnasi, whatever you do, you offer to Krishna. That is the goal. Mahaprabhu rejects it. Iha bahi aage kaho. See, this is what I'm talking about, the consciousness. We may not be of that consciousness, but we should be aware so that we can develop that consciousness. Then further he quotes a few other verses from Bhagavad Gita. Mahaprabhu says, Iha bahya, aage ko. He quotes Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma na Sochati na Kankshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakte Labhate Param. Mahaprabhu says, Iha bahya, aage ko. Now, the Acharya's comment, why he rejected that verse? Brahma Bhuta, what is wrong with that? Brahma Bhuta means one who is self-realized. He's always happy. That is a symptom of a pure devotee. Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu, he looks upon everybody equally. He doesn't distinguish, like Prahlad Maharaj says, no distinguishing, there is no friend, no enemy. Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Mad Bhakti Labhate Param. That person is certainly qualified to get the higher. Labhate Param. Bhakti Labhate Param. My own Param Bhakti. So what is wrong in that verse? In the consciousness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the consciousness of the highly realized Gaudiya Vaishnava souls? Anybody would like to try? Again, it's not a test. Something to really think about. And by the way, just a disclaimer, I'm not saying don't read Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Please read it until we build up that consciousness. Because Mahaprabhu did not like the word Brahmabhut. Because when that verse is being spoken, so many people may like the Mayavadi interpretation of Brahmabhuta. So even those Mayavadis or those Brahmabhutas or the Brahmavadis, when they go beyond the three modes of material nature, Tamoguna, Rajoguna, Satoguna, they are prasanna. And they also don't hanker after material things. And they also don't lament over anything. So Mahaprabhu didn't like that particular Brahma Bhuta. He said, Iho Bahya, this is external, aage ko. And finally he comes to the great verse that everybody knows in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tam Sarva Papibhyo Mokshasyami Masacha. And what did Mahaprabhu say? Iho Bahya aage ko. Now I see the shock. There was a shock on when I read that. Amazing. Krishna is saying, surrender to me only and I will take care of all your sinful reactions. Do not fear. He tells Arjuna that. What's wrong in that picture in terms of the highest concept of Gaudiya Vaishnavism? Again, the question is open to everyone. What is wrong in that verse in perspective of the highest? Wrong means not in the sense like wrong. What is missing? Yes, Prabhuji. Aishwarya Bhav Prabhu is there throughout the moods of Vaikuntha and even Dwarka and Mathura. But I don't see where is the word, which particular word denotes Aishwarya. Please further explain that if you don't mind. Which word in this verse is showing Aishwarya, opulence? No, no, please. See, sometimes that is the thing that I always request devotees, that concentrate on the question and answer. Even after the class, sometimes so many people ask questions that are not related to the class. Of course, you can always ask, but you can always ask after the class. Because what is fresh in our minds, and if there is any confusion there, that should be clarified then and then by hearing from the speaker. And those questions should be so wonderful that, like in Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami is appreciated that you are asking so many wonderful questions, it will be beneficial to everyone. So I'm not trying to say that you have that bhav in your heart that said that it is opulence, but I don't see anywhere in this verse where the opulence is projected. Let's analyze quickly. Sarva, all. Dharman, religion. Sarva dharman, parityaja, give up. Mam, only me. Ekam sharanam, exclusively to me. Sharanam, vraja. Surrender to me. Aham, I. Tvam, you. Sarva papebhyo, all your sinful reactions. Sarva mokshashyami. Do not worry, I will eradicate them, or I will liberate you from all sinful reactions. Ma sucha, do not worry. Where is opulence here? Dasyaras Prabhuji is even in Vraj. That's the big misconception we have. I explained that yesterday. You were probably not there. Or maybe on the first day. Were you there? You were. You were there. Please explain that. Why is Dasyaras present in Golok or in Vrindavan? Do you recollect? I know you were there all the 3 days. Dasyaras in Vaikuntha is separate because in Dasyaras in Vaikuntha, the knowledge or cognizance is there that he is the Supreme Lord. Whether it is Lord Narayana or Ramchandra, Dashrath Nandan, Lord Ramachandra, or any lordships that reside in Dwarka, Mathura, and Vaikuntha. That cognizance is there. And they are still serving is Das. And it is most predominant, Dasyaras it is said, in Vaikuntha. But also there is Dasyaras, even though the Vrajvasis do not know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, there are certain servants of Krishna like Chitrak and Patrak, we know the names. They are servants. They are washing Krishna's clothes. They are cleaning Krishna's place called the Bhavan, Nanda Bhavan. There are so many maid servants of Yashoda Mai. So they're all in Dasyaras. But Dasyaras in Vraj. And that is the reason Krishna tells Satyavrat Muni, Idriksa Leelabhir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam Tadi Ishitut Agyeshur Bhaktar Jitatvam Puna Premastas Shatavrati Vrande. Krishna is telling, look, O Vaikundvasis, look at this Gokulvasis. You have knowledge, Tad Ishitu. You have knowledge about my opulence, you have knowledge about that I am the Supreme Lord. But learn from them. They just love me because I am just their darling, friend, lover, child, etc. Tadishit Agnishu, you have knowledge about me being the Supreme Lord, but learn from them. See the point? So Dasyaras is there even in Vrindavan, Raj or Golo. Clear? Is that very clear? So in this verse, there is no such indication of direct opulence or even indirect opulence. Anybody else would like to try? Why Mahaprabhu said, Iho Bhaiya Aage Ko? He clearly said that this is external. Please tell me more. Yes, Prabhuji. True. You are getting there. I really like what you said. And I really applaud your understanding. Here, Krishna had to, after speaking the entire Bhagavad Gita almost up to the 18th chapter, verse number 65, Krishna, who is the Paramatma in the heart of Arjun, he still feels that Arjun has some reservation, little bit. Therefore, he has to guarantee by the last two words, Ma Sucha. And Mahaprabhu did not like that. Why? Because in Mahaprabhu's mind, Vraj there's no question of Ma Sucha. And we know that story. When Naradji went to Dwarka, Krishna was very sick. He was having a severe headache or stomach ache, whatever the version is. And all the doctors came, the Kavirajas, they said, they tried all the medicines, nothing worked. Then Naradji said, okay, why don't you ask Dwarkadish himself what is best for him? Because he is all cognizant. He knows everything. So Krishna said, okay, if you want to do something, then you all just give me the dust of your feet and I will mix it in water and take it. And that will finish my pain. It will eradicate my pain. So Naradji said, oh, what's the problem? Rukmati ji, Rukmati ji, please come forward. Jamvati ji, come forward. They will give. They backed off. No. He is our Swami. We will go to eternally to hell if we even think about giving the dust of our lotus feet to our master, Dwarkadish, to our Swami. Nobody came forward. So then Krishna said, Narad ji, go to Vrindavan. So Narad ji went there. First thing when anybody sees Narad ji, they ask, how is my Lord? Whether it is Lord Narayana or Lord Krishna. The real devotees, the first thing they inquire, because they know that Naradji has so much close association. Anytime, any place he can go. There is one personality that has full entrance, full access. No thumbprint required, no gate, no security. He can go into the bedroom of Krishna if he wants. Nobody will stop him. So he said, go to Vrindavan. He goes there, asks the gopis, gather around Naradji. How is Krishna? So Naradji says, not good. Half the gopis fainted just by hearing that. And then when they revived, they said, what happened? Tell us. Oh, he has got a severe ache. But Dwarka is a big city, we heard. So many doctors. This is not some small village. Nothing worked. But he said there is one medicine. What is it? Tell us. That if some of you can give, any one of you can give the dust of your feet, lotus feet, Dwarkadish will take it, mix it with water and drink it, and his pain will be gone. So the gopis said, yes, why not? Take it. And they all sat down, scratching their feet and taking all the dust and putting it in their upper garment, in their achal. And said, take it, Naradji. Naradji said, you're not afraid to go to hell? The queens of Dwarka refused. They said that even thinking like that will take us to hell in eternity. Eternally will take us to hell. He's our Swami. So what did Radharani say and the gopis say? We are ready to go to hell eternally if Krishna's pain can be mitigated. So Krishna wanted to show the Dwarkavasis what Vraj Prem is. Therefore, please learn, Tadi Eshid Agneshur Bhaktir Jitatvam Puna Premastam Shatavriti Vande. So what was my earlier point prior to quoting Satyavrat Muni and Krishna's conversation? Masucha. Masucha. The gopis didn't have to be told that, oh, if you don't go back at the night when Krishna played the Venu Geet, He called everybody. They left everything. विपिन महु मुरली हाथ सजी नवल किशोर नवल मन मोहन मुरली हाथ सजी विपिन महु मुरली हाथ सजी. There's a wonderful song in Braj Bhasha that in the forest, the Sakhi known as Murli has decorated the hands of Krishna. Navala Kishora, Navala Manmohan, and Navala Swara, Vamshi Bhaji. Navala Kishore, Krishna is always, Navala Kishore, always the youthful Krishna, one who performs the pastimes, is Naval Kishore. Not that today we see him, he is the same. But for the pure devotee, he always say, oh wow, today you look great, Krishna, wonderful. Good job, Radharani, good job, Manjaris. You really have decorated him so nicely. And he looks so more and more youthful. Every day, Navala Kishore. What is that verse in the Brahma Samhita? Kandarpa Koti Kama. No. Uh, uh, 1 second. It will come to me. Advaita Vachyuta Varadi Varanta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Now Yovanam Cha. Prabhupada comments sometimes that even the Christians, they depict God. If you go to Rome, in the museum, God is old with a long beard. And all his hands, and there is the Michelangelo statue of God. I've personally seen it in the museum in Rome when I had gone there. And God is pointing like this with a long flowing beard, and all is, what do you call, there's a lot of wrinkles on his forehead, on his cheeks, even a lot of wrinkles on his arm and his fingers, even the finger that is pointing like that, a lot of wrinkles, the old man. But Prabhupada said, no, that is not the concept of God. Our Krishna in Vrindavan is Naval Kishore, Now Yovanamcha. Although he is the oldest, is always fresh. Navanira the Nindita Kandi Tanam Rasasagar and Agara Bhupavaram. Navanira, his complexion is like a freshly formed new cloud. Navanirada. It even puts to shame the beauty of the blackish bluish freshly formed cloud that is laden with a lot of water. It puts to shame the beauty of the color of the freshly formed new cloud. Navanira, the Navanira is freshly formed cloud. Nindita puts it to shame. Like Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Sobham, it even Krishna's beauty even puts to shame millions and millions of cupids combine their beauty. So he's now Yavanamcha. So Masucha, when he played that flute, he attracted the gopis in the middle of the night. And those gopis came running. They dressed as it is without any consideration how it looks, how sometimes they were putting mascara, how the mascara looked, it didn't matter. They simply left once they heard the flute of Krishna. Children are there in the house sleeping, husband is sleeping. The gopis were married. That is why there is Parkiras. You mentioned Parkiras earlier. Jaya Jaya, Jaya Ras Mandala Jaya, Jaya Radha Sham, Parkiya Bhave Jaha, Parkiya Bhave Jaha, Vrajeta Prachar. It's very high. We cannot discuss it, but we can only discuss the Tattva. There is no Masucha in there. Now you get the point. When they came, Krishna says, I am a brahmachari. In the middle of the night, you are coming to see a brahmachari. How bad it will look. Go back. What happens if your mother-in-law Kutila and Jatira finds out, and Kutila, your sister-in-law, finds out you are not at home? Maybe your children will cry for mother and you are not at home. Your husband will suddenly wake up and find that you are not next to him. And then in the morning, everybody will know in the society of Raj that these women, they left their homes and husbands and home, family to meet this brahmachari boy Krishna. How does that sound? He says, go back. Go back. And then he threatens them saying that, look, you hear that howling? Oh, the wolves are crying. There are so many hinsak pashus, so many very dangerous animals are there. Go before somebody finds you. Leave. So they say, no, Krishna, we are not afraid of that. So here the word Mahasucha perfectly, that is full surrender Sharanagati. One time, there was one there was one couple, husband and wife. Their wife was very chaste. Always, had prasadam after husband had. When husband was having prasadam, fanned the husband, all the comforts of the husband. And whatever, after the husband finished everything, she would take rest. She would even, while he's sleeping, fan him or do some charan seva, etc. So one day the husband said, my dear wife, I have to go somewhere for a long period. So, so immediately when she heard that, she felt so much separation. Like I explained the meaning of the word, the prema vaichitya yesterday. That uh, that Madhusudan is gone. So she already started feeling that pain and separation, although you're not. Sometimes we also feel it in our standard material world interaction. Let's say parents, child is going to college, and 1 week he's going or she's going. Already they feel the separation. Mother is crying uh, because I won't see her for 1 year, or sometimes they are going abroad. Uh, one more month left, one more week left. They already feel the separation, although the child is still there in front of them. So this wife started feeling deep separation. So she started crying so much. The husband tried to console her. He says, I won't be eating because after you eat, only I eat. You know that. Ah. So you take as long. And if you find me dead, that's your problem. Because he says, no. Please don't do that. I'm going to give you a solution. You take that photo out that we have in the cupboard and put it on a table. And whenever you make some bhoga, uh, you offer it to the Lord and then you offer it to me. I will take that prasad. And after that, keep it for like it takes me what about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to take my bhojanam. After that, you take. That is a solution. And I will be very sad if you don't do this.
gopis never
Which Manjri we are? Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. We get that Vidya from Ananga Manjari, that who we are if we reach that stage. Just we get initiated into Harinam Diksha, we get initiated into Brahman Diksha, we get initiated into Sannyas Diksha. There is also an initiation for Manjari. But it is not ordinary or on an external platform. Simply through the glance of Aranga Manjari, we get our Ekadash Bhav. Mora Siddha Deha Griya, Krishna Pase Rakhi Giya. And then, even when we are here, then our in the 11 different symptoms that are there, some of the major ones are our name, which Manjari we are, under which Manjari we will be serving, what is our dress, where we will be residing, what is our seva, particular seva, all that is revealed. And that is why once that is revealed, even while we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, the pure devotee is contemplating on his seva. Like Narottam Das Thakur was contemplating on heating up the milk and making the milk for Radha and Krishna. So, more Siddha Deha Diya, Krishna Pase Rakhi Giya. And he eternally keeps us with Krishna. Even when we are in the material world, we are eternally with Krishna. Prabhupada gave this example that a pure devotee is like that American embassy. American embassy is in New Delhi. It's on Indian land, but it is not Indian land. The moment that doors open, it is America. Therefore, we find so many news that such and such a person has taken refuge. They run into the embassy, then even the policemen and the army cannot break open the doors because it is not the proper protocol. Although in India, it is not India, it is America. Although the Vaishnava is present in this material world, he is not of this material world, he is not in the material world. Because it is the consciousness of that Vaishnava that defines where he is or what he is. Ega Dehara Kore Sarvanash. It takes full destruction of this material body. Krishna Nama Chintamani Akila Rasera Khani. This is that verse that we always chant. Nama Chintamani Sri Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Krishna Nam Chintamani. Whatever you want, we desire. That is why the gopis, whatever they wanted, when they chanted the name of Krishna, Krishna never failed to fulfill their desires. Even though after the Venu Geet, when Krishna tested them, go back, they did not go back, and they gave this example rather, and he says, you sit down, now you listen. Tungavida says, listen from this guru. You become disciple. And she imparts this knowledge. Then Krishna is so pleased. Then he starts playing the flute, and he says, now come on, let me fulfill all your desires of this rasa dance. Then the Rasa Lila begins. Then Krishna disappears. Then they are all crying in search of Krishna, chanting Krishna constantly, thinking of Krishna constantly. Huh? That is the process. Krishna Nama Chintamani Akila Rasera Khanika. Chintamani always gives whatever he wants. The gopis always got what they want. Nandanandan Krishna as Mahaprabhu got what he wanted, which is Radha Bhav. Krishna Nam Chintamani. Whatever you desire, you will get. But what is the optimal use? Not that 1 rupee from a great Karapati. We ask for much more and we ask for the highest. Like Narsi Mehta. How many have heard this great devotee by the name Narsi Mehta? He's the one but famous Vaishnava Janto Tene Kahiye JP. Gandhiji liked that and became famous because of that. He actually had the darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the banks of the Tapti river. And prior to that, he was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was so pleased that Narsi, ask me whatever you want, I will give you. So you know what he said? He said, whatever is the most rarest in this creation and the most dearest to you, please give me darshan of that. Lord Shiva was shocked. Everybody is offering me some bilva pattar and some jalam, some water, and putting a long Santa Claus list. Give me this, give me that. Christmas time, no, that's what they do. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Ghar Dhan Aave, Sukh Sampati Aave, Dollar Kamaave, America Jave, Jai Jagadish Hare. What is that? That's not Shuddha Bhakti. And all like Geta Bakra. You know what Geta Bakra is? Like sheep, they follow. In all the temples, just the arti starts and they all sing in that chorus without understanding what Shuddha Bhakti is. At the end it says, Kahe Shivananda Swami. Shivananda Swami was one of the biggest propagators of Mayavadism. And we are singing the songs composed and we are singing songs that are not in pure bhakti, karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti. There is no place for that in Srimad Bhagavatam, no place for that in Gaudiya Vaishnavism or any other pantha of pure Vaishnavism, whether it is Sri Sampradaya or Nimbar Sampradaya or any. But in particular, in Gaudiya Sampradaya, Nigama Kalpa Taro Galitam Phalam. It is the ripened fruit of the Nigam, Srimad Bhagavatam. Amala Puranam, Prema Pumartho Mahan. Srimad Bhagavata is Amal Puran, spotless. There is no Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha in there. Only pure devotion. Dharma Projita Kaita Vatra Parmo Nirmat Saranam Satam. Vedyam Vastavam Atra Shivadam Tapatrai Unmuram. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krite Kimva Pare Ishwara Sadhya Avaruddhatatre Kritivi Shushrivi Tatshana. This Bhagavatam is not meant for cheating religion. So many speakers of Bhagavatam, they speak Bhagavatam, commercial speakers. Their only reason is to make money. And they fan the egos of the sponsors. Giving them nice big sofa, sit there, speaking flat words of flattery so that they can get more money. Some Bhagavatam speakers, even in our ISKCON, there are certain Maharathis, so-called Maharathis. I'm using that word in sarcasm. He will say, I don't take any money, but you can give you whatever you wish. But what is the criteria for speaking Bhagavatam for that person? This is personally experienced when he came to Toronto one day. After doing one Bhagavatam Katha in somebody's house, very rich person, big basement. Maybe 150 devotees came in his house to hear from him. And then, after everybody left, my wife and I, we were still there because they were close to us, that family. So we helped. We were the first ones to help with the cooking and the last ones with the cleanup and everything. And then everybody left, we would leave. He was staying in their house. And there were 2-3 other devotees. And he said that, one devotee said that your katha was very nice. Maybe we should organize more in Toronto area. So then he said that, okay, so who are the big people in Toronto? what kind of cars they drive, how big their house is. Is this the criteria of speaking Bhagavatam? If you have a BMW or a Mercedes, that becomes the criteria of speaking Bhagavatam in your house. What a rascal he is. And recently he got banned also because he was embezzling ISKCON funds. Good speaker, very, very sweet speaker, but commercial speaker. And Prabhupada said, such speakers we should never hear Bhagavatam. Bhagavat suno, Bhagavat sthane. Prabhupada said that. If Bhagavatam is like the pure milk, but if a serpent comes and touches it, even for 1 second, then you have to discard it. Therefore, we never hear Shastra from Mayavadis, or never hear Shastra from those persons whose motivation is money. What have that persons understood? Even those big names who are giving katha on Asta channel or whatever channel or big pandal programs, they're charging crores of rupees. What have they understood in this verse? Dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirmit saranam sata. They have not understood the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. First verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is Janmadiyasya, which is the Mangalacharan. But Dharma projita, in actuality, that is the first verse. Verse number 2 is the first verse. Om Janmadiyasya is the Mangalacharan. And we hear from such persons, what will we get? It is better to sit with one person who is genuinely giving Bhagavatam without any material motivation. He may not be famous, but better to hear from that person. Then go behind the crowds and become a sheep, following. One sheep follows the second. Prabhupada mentioned one very nice story. Sarvak Singh, anybody has heard that story about Sarvak Singh? Prabhupada has mentioned this. So in one village, one very prominent person was crying loudly. And all the neighbors gathered, what happened, what happened? And he even shaved his head. So Sarvak Singh died, Sarvak Singh died, Sarvak Singh died. And then everybody else in that village, out of that, they started shaving their heads and they also started beating their chest. Oh, Sarvak Singh died. And everybody came, who died? Oh, Baba, Anja, Sarvak Singh died. So they also wanted to show that they are so intellectuals that they knew Sarvak Singh. They did not want to admit that they did not know Sarvak Singh, but they followed. And entire village they did Mundanam and they started crying. Then one child was there and it asked this first person, the leader or whatever, the prominent person of that village, who is Sarvak Singh? She said, yeah, my donkey Sarvak Singh died. So we should not become Sarvak Singh kind of, that villagers. Just simply following. We have to follow Mahajana Jena Gatha Sapantaha. So Krishna Nama Chintamani, it will give us whatever Akila Rasera Khadi. Wow, what words. Really, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has saved the best for the last, the best verse. Rasela, Akila Rasera Khadi. Navanira the Nindita Kandi Dharam Rasastagara Nagara Bhupavaram. Shubha Vanki Macharu Sikhanda Sikim. Bhaja Krishna Nidim. Braja Raja. So he is the Akila Rasa Amrita. He is the source of all rasas. So Rupa Goswami, while explaining the meaning of Om Janmadiyasya, very interesting meaning he has. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that and Prabhupada used to mention, my Guru Maharaj used to speak on this verse for 3 months, just on Janmadiyasya. There is a rasic meaning of the very first 2 words, Janmadiyasya. So Rupa Goswami mentions that even the rasas in Vraj, they emanate from Sri Krishna Nandanandan. Therefore, Janmadiyasya. Akila Rasera Khani. Khan means mind. And Krishna is Rasamrita. He is the source of everything. When he expands himself into Lord Balram as The Sandhini Shakti, on the left he expands as Haladini Shakti, and he himself is Samvit Shakti. Both these Shaktis, Sandhini and Haladini, combined, they are, they get, because of his expansion, he is expanding his rasas. He is expanding for performing his pastimes. In the Chaturshloki Bhagavata, we find it says that only he was there first, Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is all about that. Srimad Bhagavatam has 6 darshans. Satyam Param Dhimai means here Vyasdev is speaking from the opulence term, Vasudev Krishna, or Narayanas, or the different expansions of the lordships, which we find in the first 9 cantos. They are also Satyam Param, they are eternal, they are the truth, depending on the consciousness of the devotee. So Lord Ramachandra, if somebody is Ram Bhakta, Satyam Param Dhimahi. That's one darshan. Satyam Param Dhimahi is Krishna of Vrindavan, from whom everything happens Janmadi Yasya. That is Satyam Param Dhimahi. Satyam Param Dhimahi is, he is indeed to be worshipped and no one else exclusively. Satyam Param Dhimahi means his pastimes and his Vrindavan is indeed Satyam, the absolute. His sweet pastimes, there is nothing more sweeter than Adaram Maduram, Vadanam Maduram. In that song, Madhuradipate Akilam Madhuram. There is no other sweetness than that Satyam of sweetness that we find in Vrindavan. Madhuram Madhurebhyo api Mangalam api Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyo api Harir Nam Eva Kevalam. The sweetest of the sweetest is Krishna Nam, because why? Shamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham. That is what for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, that consciousness is, when we are chanting the holy names, Krishna is that Shamam Tribanga Lalitam, which has got all those 4 extra qualities than the other Bhagwans that are there. Madhurya Rupa, Madhurya Venu, Madhurya Leela, and what's the 4th one? Madhurya. Sorry, loudly? Yes, out of the 4, he is 64 super excellent qualities. Bhakta Madhurya, sweet devotees. So the holy name is not different. It is it for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Therefore, it is Akhila Rase Rakhani. The mind. The other day when I was speaking at the AECS layout in Whitfield, somebody took objection, saying that how can you say that the Gaudiya Rasa is the highest? Sitting on the Vyasasana, you are saying that you are disrespecting other faiths, other components. This is so unfortunate that that person felt like that. Then I feel like telling him that go listen to Mahaprabhu, go listen to Rupa Goswami. Before you kind of blame me, I'm just the messenger. Why are you shooting the messenger? Just because your understanding is very, very kanishta, someone who is trying to give the highest concept in line of Mahaprabhu, in line of what our acharyas really want us. That means that person, first of all, he must have come late, is not listening to the earlier part of my katha, and he only heard that selected and elected part, where I clearly said, yes, indeed, all the Vaishnava Sampradayas are nice, but we cannot find the rasa that we have in the Gaudiya Sampradaya that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. Mahaprabhu did not come to give us the Dasya Rasa of Vaikuntha. Even in Golok, Mahaprabhu did not come on and expect us to adopt the rasa of Dasya Rasa in Golok or Dasya Rasa in Vrindavan or Dasya Rasa of, of or Sakharas of Vrindavan or Vatsalya Rasa of Vrindavan, exclusively Madhurya. So Prabhupada has also said many times that Madhurya Rasa is most superior. Why you are shooting me? Because of your very small thinking. That's okay. People will always have comments. That is why I decide that you cannot please everyone. We are here to please Srila Prabhupada. And that is our goal. So Krishna Nama Chintamani Akhila Rase Rakhani Nitya Mukta Shuddha Rasmoy. It is the all impediments to pure devotion. When we take to this pure chanting, will be completely destroyed. Namera balai jata sava loe hoy hata. On the strength of chant, that is why we should never give up chanting. Even we are chanting in Nam Aparad, continue. Prabhupada said that many times. Why? Because Namera balai jata. To the strength of the holy name, even it is in Nam Aparad, it will take us to Nam Avas, it will take us to Shuddha Nam. Sava loe hoy hata. Whatever problems are there, there will be obstacles will be removed. Taba more sukhera uday. He starts with a very humble mood of a sadhak. He ends with the humble mood of a sadhak. Namera balai jata. On the strength of the holy name. Sava loy hoy hata. All problems will be eradicated. Tava more sukhera uday. And then I will have true happiness. So this is the very important song on Harinam, on the holy names that Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakurji in Sharanagati has composed in his most amazing external instruction to the sadhaks and internal mood, how he feels when he chants the holy names. Amazing, isn't it? How beautiful. So isn't Hare Krishna Mahamantra amazing? It is like a bottomless ocean. Nobody can describe its glories to the fullest extent. No one, except our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, who can, through their different realizations, throw light. Like on a stage, we find actor is acting, there is one focus coming, and then suddenly another focus comes, and then another focus comes. So similarly, this is such an unlimited ocean that so many different focuses or realizations they express from within their heart on the holy names. So I really thank all of you, especially the management, Prabhuji, Swayam Prakash Prabhu. Thank you for inviting me here. And all the wonderful devotees who sat patiently through this three sessions on the holy name. And if I've said something that is too strong or maybe sounded very offensive, I humbly ask for forgiveness. It is not my intention to hurt anyone. To speak as it is what I have collected or gathered from our acharyas, from those sincere Vaishnavas. Sometimes it may not be palatable for many people. So for those who have felt offended in any way, I ask for forgiveness. That is never my intention, never was and never will be. In fact, I seek the blessings from all, whether those who like me or those who did not like me. Please bless me that I advance and keep this mood of the acharyas in my heart so that I can also advance by your mercies. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji ki, हमारे आचार्य गुरु वर्ग गौड़ीय वैष्णव आचार्य की, गौड़ीय वैष्णव आचार्य सॉन्ग्स की, और प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि. So, any questions, clarifications, or corrections anybody may have? So thank you.
Thank you, Satcitananda, for sharing the Vaishnava Bhajan testimony, right? And being there for 3 days and mornings, like, many of the subtle things or the details, like, for sharing that, there is express our gratitude by chanting Hare Krishna Mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And I would like to express my gratitude for the entire audience, online, offline, present in the temple. Let us chant for all of you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Hare. Thank you very much.